There are many legends and folktales associated with mirrors, and one of them says that the reflection in the mirror doesn't move until it sees your soul. What does that even mean? Is the mirror simply waiting to absorb my soul, or does it want to take something else from me? Today we will delve into a thrilling horror tale inspired by Arabic folklore. So let's begin. They say that mirrors never lie, but in an old village nestled deep in the desert of southern Arabia, one mirror did far more than reflect a reality. It remembered. The tale begins in a crumbling ancestral house in Wadi al-Ramel, where a young man named Tariq returned after the death of his grandmother. For as long as anyone could remember, she had lived alone in that house for decades, feared by the village children and respected, albeit from a distance, by the elders. Tariq, a quiet and practical man in his late 20s, only came back to settle the inheritance and sell the house. But the moment he stepped inside, something shifted in the air. The house smelled of dust, oud and clove incense, a mixture that clung to the walls like a memory. Everything was still frozen in time, except for one object, a tall, oval-shaped mirror, draped in a black cloth, standing alone in the corner of the grandmother's bedroom. Tariq didn't think much of it. He assumed it was covered to prevent dust. But on his second night, something strange happened. As the call to Fajr prayer echoed in the distance, he awoke to the sound of faint whispers coming from that very room. When he entered, the door creaked louder than it should have. The air was thick. He flicked on the light. The cloth had fallen off the mirror. He stared into it. For a moment, all was normal. His reflection blinked back at him, groggy and unsure. But then, he noticed a delay. His reflection blinked after him, subtle, but wrong. He chalked it up to exhaustion, covered the mirror again, and went back to bed. But from that moment on, he felt a presence in the house. He'd hear footsteps in the hall at night, see shadowy figures in his peripheral vision, especially near the mirror. One night, as a sandstorm raged outside, Tariq lit an old oil lantern. Power outages were common in the village. He found himself drawn once more to the mirror, its cloth now lying on the floor. Despite him being certain he'd tied it the day before, against his better judgment, he looked in again. This time the mirror showed something different. He was no longer looking at the room. Instead, the reflection showed a darker version of it. Same furniture, same walls, but the windows were boarded shut, and behind him stood a woman in tattered black robes, her face obscured by a hair. He spun around nothing, looked back. She was closer, chilled to the bone. He recited Ayat al-Kursi under his breath and rushed to cover the mirror. The moment the cloth touched it, the room felt lighter. The presence, whatever it was, reached Tariq. Though not particularly religious, began praying regularly after that. He visited the village imam, an elderly man named Sheikh Abdul, who warned him gravely, "Your grandmother once came to me, a troubled woman. She said the mirror wasn't bought, but given to her by a traveling woman who claimed it could show what lies beneath. I told her to burn it. She never listened." Tariq returned to the house determined to destroy the mirror. But the closer he got, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. It felt as if the mirror knew. That night, the whispers returned, louder, clearer, like pleading voices, or perhaps mocking. He tried to carry the mirror out, but it was immovable, as if nailed to the earth itself. Desperate, he smashed it with a crowbar. It didn't break. Instead, it began to ripple like liquid glass, and from its surface, he saw not his reflection, but a younger version of his grandmother, sobbing and holding something, a baby. The image zoomed out, showing her burying it beneath the house. The realization hit Tariq like a storm. His grandmother had a secret child, one who died mysteriously, possibly, and the mirror showed what actually happened to him. Was it the cause of his grandmother's reclusive behavior all those years? Had the mirror somehow taken him, absorbed his essence, and used it to torment his family? With newfound determination, Tariq dug up the spot indicated by the mirror. He found the remnants of a burial, disturbed animal bones, and something else. A small, intricately carved wooden box. Inside, nestled on a bed of silk, was a silver rattle, tarnished but beautiful. A chill went down his spine. Was this the lost child's toy? Why had his grandmother hidden it? And why did the mirror show him this? Tariq couldn't bring himself to stay another night in the house. He sealed the box, buried it, along with the mirror, pieces of wood and metal, and fled. In the weeks that followed, he avoided the village, seeking solace in the bustling city, trying to put the unsettling experience behind him. But the nightmares persisted, filled with whispers, darkness, and the feeling of being watched. The face of his grandmother, twisted and ancient, haunted his sleep. Driven by fear and a need for answers, Tariq returned to the site of the house. The village elders dissuaded him, saying, "Whatever evil that was in that house has spread now. You can't bury such things so easily." Ignoring their warnings, Tariq uncovered his makeshift grave. The box was gone. Panic surged through him. Had someone else found it? What would they do with the mirror's remnant? Was this why he was having nightmares? Desperation fueled his actions. He scoured the village, asking questions, searching houses, even checking the local market, hoping to find the trinket sold somewhere. Days turned into weeks, hope into despair. He was about to give up when Sheikh Abdul Rahman approached him. I heard you'd been looking for this, the Imam said, holding out the box. It appeared outside my door last night. I knew it would come back, but I didn't expect so soon. Tarek took the box, his hands trembling. Once more, the weight of it heavy in his hands, he hurried home, hoping to finally find peace. Back in his own apartment, away from prying eyes, he opened the box. The silver rattle was gone. Instead, there was a note written in his grandmother's spidery handwriting. It read, "When the serpent in the mirror strikes, bury it deep, lest its venom seep. Only water can cleanse what's uncleansed, and only the pure can see what's concealed." Tarek stared at the cryptic message. What serpent, what venom, and what did it mean to be pure? Fear turned to confusion. Sleep came fitfully that night. He dreamed of a writhing snake made of glass, its eyes gleaming red in the darkness. It slithered towards him, whispering promises of power. He woke gasping, the dream clinging to him like a shroud. Something was growing inside him, a darkness that fed on his fear. He needed answers. Returning to the Ayman, Tariq shared his dream and his confusion. Sheikh Abdul Rahman listened gravely. "The mirror was indeed cursed," he said finally, "and it seems the curse has taken root in you. Only the source of the curse can be its undoing. Find the woman who gave the mirror to your grandmother, the one who called herself a healer, and confront her." Armed with this new knowledge, Tariq set out to find the source of his nightmares. The trail was cold, leading him through winding paths of half-remembered stories and forgotten lore. Finally, in a remote mountain village, he found an old woman, her face a roadmap of time. She was revered as a healer, but there was a darkness in her eyes that spoke of more than herbal remedies. When he confronted her, she neither confirmed nor denied her past. Instead, she offered him a choice. "You seek the truth," she said, her voice raspy. "Then look into my mirror. But be warned, not all reflections are meant to be seen." He hesitated. Could he trust her? Was this a trap? But the nightmares were relentless, and the thought of facing them drove him forward. Steeling himself, he looked into the mirror. The story ends here, leaving us with a cliffhanger. Now it's your turn. What do you think happened next? Did Tariq find peace? Did he defeat the curse? Let your imagination run wild in the comments below. Don't forget to share your thoughts, because remember, every story has the potential to become a legend, and you are part of our story. Thanks for watching.